Hi, I'm George, and we'll be taking a look at 5 top free video editors. This video is sponsored by VideoProc, the makers of VideoProc Vlogger, and we'll take a look at their video editor first, which I have running right now. Now I have 6 different things I'll be looking at here, and the first one is a program actually free? Some programs kind of are free and kind of not, but VideoProc Vlogger is completely free. You don't pay for anything here. You don't pay for upgraded features, you don't pay for export facilities, you don't pay for anything like that. Everything is included in the free version. The next question I have is how easy is it to import video and music? And I'll start off by importing video. As you can see over here, here's the media library. Let me make this just a little bit larger so it's easier to see. There we go. Simply click on the plus sign right here, or up here, click on that plus sign, and you can then import video directly. I'll be working with 3 clips here. Here's one called Dive. And I have another one right down here called Fish. I'll be importing 3 clips and one here, Scuba Diving. Choose Open. There we go. So video clips come in very easily. If you double click on a clip, it then gives you a preview over here in the main window. Let's now import some music. Come down here. There's our music section. Click on the plus sign to import music. And I have a piece right down here just called Digital Ghosts. I'll open this one up. There we go. So real easy to import music. Let's now see how we can do a quick edit in here. I'll take this first video, drag it down here to the video track. Notice I have video track and audio track. Grab our fish, bring that down here. It's a little large. Let's just squeeze down our track a bit. There we go. Let's bring down Dive right here. And I'll bring down the music, which comes down onto the audio track. There we go. So pretty easy to import music. Let's now do some fast edits on this. The fish track here is a bit too long. If I click on the play button, I don't really want that opening music bit, and the video here is a bit too long on this fish section. So I want to edit that fish. I'll select that clip and find a good spot for that. I think right here maybe. Do a split. Click here, hit the delete key, and that then cuts it out just fine. Now our last section here has a freeze frame at the beginning. Click on that clip. Let's find that spot again. Right there where her head begins to show. It's a good spot. Split and then delete that piece. It's really easy for basic edits in here on the video. Let's come down to our audio track. So I'll choose a nice spot right about here for this. Notice that white outline. Hit the split and let's just delete that piece. And I'll then pull this into the beginning. That works out just fine. Let's now come down and we'll do the same thing at the end. So make it match the end. Notice how the playhead snaps right to the end here. Same thing, hit that split and I'll just delete that last bit in there. So pretty easy to do basic editing on this sound. And I'll hit play from start. There we go, soundtrack sounds good. Video looks nice and clean up here in the play window. There's our fish. Here's that second piece of video. And that's all looking great. So very easy to do all that basic editing stuff. Let's now see how easy it is to add transitions in here. Let's up here click on transitions. I'll just do something really simple. Here's a horizontal triangle. So I'll pull that down and I'll put that right here over the beginning scuba diver and into the fish. Let's see how that looks. I'll just pull the playhead back to that point. It'll play from that spot. There's that transition. That was easy enough. Let's now take a look at effects right here. And I have on here colorful bubbles. I'll put that on that fish. Notice that comes on here on its own overlay track. I'll set it at the beginning of the fish and then I'll pull the end back to match the end of the fish clip. So it's only on the fish clip. Let's now see how that looks. Hit the play button. There we go, there's the fish coming in. There's that kind of colorful bubbles effect on top of that and into the next clip. So all that's real easy to do here inside of VideoProc Vlogger. Let's now see if we can edit the audio. One thing about the audio, I just cut it off at the end. I didn't fade out or anything. So we'll click on that. On the right hand side, there's a lot of things you can do over here with audio. Volume, reverse play, change voice. Let's just look at the audio here and click on the audio editor. There we go. Our ending piece is right down here. I'm just going to make a selection just like that. And I'll go up here and I'll do a fade out. And that fades out. Notice I have a complete editor up here, which also includes an equalizer right here. Close that. And additional effects right in here. So a lot of different options in here with this complete audio editor. I'll click on apply. And the audio now fades out at the end. Let's test that. Hit the play button. There we go. Nice little fade out on the end of the audio. So that's all looking good. Okay, what about exporting this? Let's try that. Go over here to export. Notice how it did an automatic save at the same time there. Now in here we can change our file name if we want to. I'm just going to call this one VideoProc Test. There it is. Choose your folder, your output format, right hand side. Let's set this at a high level. We can go 1 to 5 on this, or you even can do a high quality engine lossless mode. I don't need that for this. Maybe a 4 is good. Everything else looks fine. And choose start, and we'll let this go ahead and output that video. Looks like it'll be about 15 seconds maybe total. There we go, and that's finished. That's all looking great, all easy to do. Last thing I want to check in here, is there help available if you're having problems learning the program? Let's check that out up here. Go up here to the VideoProc menu, which is right here. Come down to help. We have help, which is also the standard F1 key, and home page for VideoProc Vlogger. Feedback page. Let's go to the help page. Now to get onto the help page here, of course, you're going to have a current internet access connection set up. We'll scroll down. Lots of stuff in here. How to export a project, how to use shortcuts, create your first video. Good standard one. Let's click on that, see what we get. There we go. So we have a video in here, a little 9-minute basic video, and good step-by-step instructions and description of the work area. So good help, easy to go through, nicely organized. So VideoProc Vlogger gets 100% on all of my different questions in here. Let's now take a look at our next free video editor. And here we go. This is Lightworks, the free version. Now Lightworks is a professional level video editing program, and the full version, the pro version, costs about $350, and that is the problem with the free version in here. This is a great way to learn how to use the program, but it's a very limited version of the professional program. For instance, the export on this is limited to 720p, and the minimum default right now on YouTube is 1080p, which is a lot larger, so you can't even export out and get a decent high-def video for YouTube if you're using the free version of Lightworks. Now, as far as bringing in video clips, not a big deal. Drag and drop down onto the timeline, easy to do. Same thing for the audio down here. As far as adding in edits and transitions and effects, that's up here under the VFX button, and there are quite a few. We have color effects in here, digital video effects, keying, keyframe, chroma key, so forth, different matte effects, and mix is your transitions. And I have a simple one right down here. I just dragged over a simple wipe. You can see that sample going on right here. Let's see how it looks on the video. I'll play that. There you go. Pretty fast. It can be tweaked to make it look a little bit better, but as you can see, very limited on the amount of included effects. And that's because this is a trial program. You even have to reactivate this every 90 days. So you'd have to just keep on signing up for it again every 90 days to keep on using it, because their whole goal here is just to let you get familiar with the program and then move up to the full paid version. Okay, let's go on to our next editor and take a look at that. And that's HitFilm Express, which is a nice little editor. But you can see right off the bat here, left-hand side, they're going to try to upsell you on lots of stuff. So again, this is a limited editor. There's a lot of things in here that you don't have available because they're on the paid side. So they're going to try to upsell you on anything you really want to do with this. I've already set up for our diver sequence. Let's bring that up. Here we are inside of HitFilm Express, bringing in video clips, audio clips. Very easy. Click on the import button and then navigate and bring them right in. Adding them onto your timeline. Same thing, just drag and drop. All very easy to do. Putting cuts in here, making trims, also easy. Simply position your playhead and then use the slice tool right here and then delete the part you don't want. So very easy, very quick to do this kind of quick editing. Notice how the playhead does snap to positions on that. All of your tools are available right down here, little toolbar. Options right here, project settings. So it's very easy to get to everything. Let's move back to the beginning of the track here and play this and see how this looks. Playback is a little bit jerky on this one. It's not that really noticeable, but it's a little bit jerky. That won't be there on the final output, of course. But the playback is not quite as smooth as we've seen on the previous two editors. Let's take a look at putting in transitions and effects. Let's see what we have available for that. Notice up here we have an effects button right here, and also right down here we have an effects button. There we go. If we scroll down, there are quite a few different things in here. Here's keying and fills, and your transitions are right down here. Let's look at our video transitions. Dissolve, fade to color, iris, motion, page turn. We have some wipes in here. Linear, radial wipe. Not a lot of options, but there's a lot you can do even without that. Let's just do a real fast linear wipe. I'll drag it in here and we'll drop it right on there. There's our wipe. Let's see how that looks. I'll hit the play button. I have the sound turned off on this, but there is that wipe. Notice it was a little slow on the playback on that wipe. It would be nice and clean when the final output is done. So again, the playback is a little bit choppy in here sometimes with the HitFilm Express. Next question is, can we edit audio in here? Now I'm over here on the controls section and I have the audio track selected. And down here on effects we have levels. This is just your volume control. You can grab this middle line here, pull it up or down to adjust your volume. That's pretty straightforward. On the effects, click that plus sign right here and come down here to audio. There's audio reverse, balance, kind of a reverb setting in here. Now the standard stuff, your compressor, your equalizer, your noise reduction, all of those are paid add-ons. And those are the main ones you really want. You want to have the stuff to clean up your sound, and that's not available in the free version. So they know what's going to be most wanted, and they have those on the upgrade path here on as paid add-ons, which really makes us realistically not a free program because we have these as add-ons. Next question is, how easy is it to export your video? And you'll find that here under export and some default presets, Apple iPad, there's your Facebook, there's YouTube 1080p and YouTube 2180p. So it's kind of a 2K export here. We don't have 4K export, which actually was available over in VideoProc Vlogger. They do have 4K export over there. So a little limited on exports, but mostly what you need. Again, the default here for YouTube is the 1080p at the moment. Let's take a look at that. Click on the export and export now, in out areas. And there we go. It's going to work through that export. Now it's not real fast in here. It's kind of a slow export, but this will get the job done. It'll be nice, smooth when this is finished. And there we go. That took 3 minutes and 14 seconds to complete that. Not bad, a little slow, but that's easily doable. Okay, let's now take a look at the help, see what help is available here for the program. There is a help menu right here and online help. We'll see what we have here. Okay, online reference manual, that looks good. Take a look through the left-hand side here. Looks like everything is covered very well over there. That's really nice. And we'll take a fast look here at just something at random. Let's do adding clips to the timeline. Bring that up. There we go. Shows up on the right-hand side. Looks fine. There's a print button. I like that. And links to other sections in the help file. That's also good. So looks like the help file here is complete and very extensive. So you'll be able to learn how to do this program very easily just from that included help. And that's really a definite plus. So I like this program a lot. It's a very good basic editor. The only real problem here is that a lot of the features that you may want are hidden behind additional costs. So it's not completely free. There are some costs if you want to have all of the features. Okay, let's move on and take a look at our next editor. The next video editor here is the OpenShot Video Editor. And this appears to be completely free. I'm not seeing anything in here anywhere that's asking for any additional payments. So I think we have a completely free editor here, which is great. It's not as advanced as the VideoProc Vlogger editor, but it's a nice little editor. Has a few little interesting quirks. For instance, on the zoom in and out of the timeline, that's right here. You grab this handle there and you can use this to zoom in or out of your timeline. You can see the active part little icon right there. So it's an odd way of doing that, but it works. I don't mind that kind of quirk. Down here we have our standard editing tools. That's really nice. And here's our tracks. You can right click and add in tracks above, below, rename tracks and so forth. So you have full track control. Playhead works as you would expect right here. Now I'm not getting any decent scrubbing. It's a little bit delayed on the scrubbing. If I let go for a second, it's going to catch up to that position. If I go real slow, I can get a little bit of that, but it's still trying to catch up. So it doesn't have a smooth scrubbing action. Let's play this and see how the basic looks. And it's a little bit jerky in here, kind of stop and go, as you can see there. So it's not a very smooth playback. Not really necessary, but it's a nice feature to have. Now on doing a transition like I have right here, this is a simple crossfade, and to get this to work properly, I had to do two crossfades, one fading in and one fading out, and then overlap those two on two tracks. So a little bit more work. All the other video editors we've seen so far, you just put the transition on the one track with the two video clips, put it on top, and it takes care of that for you. So it's a little bit clunkier as far as that goes. It's very easy to import the video. Just use the import button right here. And same thing for the audio. It was easy to bring the video clips down onto the track, just pull them down like we've seen before. No problems in there. Editing is easy to do. Simply find the spot you want to edit a track, click on your track, and then use the razor tool right here to make a slice in the track and then delete the part you don't want. That's fine. Adding in effects is just a matter of dragging them on. Again, as we see right here, with the transitions, it may take a little bit of work to get exactly what you want. It has quite a few transitions. It would be nicer if these had scenes in them instead of these black and white things. These are the actual transition maps. Everything else has this kind of map built in, but they hide this behind some scenes, and I think those look a little bit better, a little bit easier to see exactly what's going to be going on. But this works. Here's the one that I used right there, kind of a crossfade. There are some effects in here, not that many effects. Notice we have video and audio effects. They're kind of messed up in here, but if you click on video, there's a video effects, and click on audio, there's the audio effects. So for editing audio, you can do a little bit. You can't do really a whole lot down here. You can do some things. There's a compressor, a delay, distortion, echo, expander. There is a noise reduction and an equalizer right here. That's good. Little robot sound to it. Whisperization, kind of a whisper sound to it. This does, though, have the ability to put on these emojis if you want to. They're basically just stickers you can drop onto your video. Like here's one for a tropical fish. Bring it down here. You can then position that where you want, and you can resize. Notice there is a bit of a delay on that. Notice I make the move and then it does a jump, so it's not really fast action in here. So you can do some animation, some basic animation on that. To get rid of that, just hit the track, hit the delete key, and that then deletes that out. Let's take a look at how easy it is to export, and that's this button right here. Normally a red dot like that would mean stop if you're doing a recording, and then a stop and there'd be a stop button. But in this program that's using that as an export video, not a big deal. You can choose a profile, several profiles in here. Let's just come down here for a web profile. Target, let's do a targeting YouTube right there, that's fine. But we change this down to a YouTube high definition HD. There's our 1080p. So it does have the 1080p, has quite a few options in here. Now, depending upon the profile you choose, you can take this clear up. There's all formats. You can go clear up here to 4K. So it does have as much as 4K output, which can also be used, of course, right now on YouTube. Low, medium, and high quality settings. So all that is looking very nice. Let's see if there's help available before I hit that export button. That's up here, help, contents. We'll bring this up. Again, goes back up online, so it's an online help, and that's fine. And this is fairly well laid out. On going through this, I found it was a little bit skimpy on information. They didn't really go into as much depth as I would like to see. But all in all, it has a good help system right here. I'm sure this will be improved as time goes on as well. So that's all looking fine. Let's get rid of that and go back to our project files. Let's now try that export and see how long that takes. So here we go. Web and YouTube high def right there. That's fine. Let's see what our options are here. So we have 30 frames per second right there. That's the one I want. Quality high, looks good. Export video. And this is going pretty fast. Notice the last one we looked at took 3.5 minutes or 3 minutes and 14 seconds to finish up. This is just going to be taking just a few seconds. So this is much faster on its export speed, which is real nice. This is more of what I would expect from a good video editor, is a good quick export. And there we go. That's done. Okay, so nice little program. Simple, it's easy to use. It's fairly straightforward, but it's not as feature rich as I would like to see. And of course, as we've seen in other programs previously in our video here, like the VideoProc Vlogger program, which has just about everything in it. Okay, let's now move on and take a look at our last video editor. Here we are in Shotcut, another free video editor. This one is completely free and it's open source, so it should stay free as well. Now, interesting little things about this one. First off, we do have our scrub up here. Now I have the audio turned off on that, so you're not hearing the audio scrubbing as well, but there we go. Let's just do a little cut right here on these fish. I'll start it right about here. Pretty easy to do. Just choose your track, click on that button. It splits it at that point. Hit the one you don't want, hit the delete key, and that then clips it out. So very easy to do cuts in here, and those are the tracks will snap together. Fade out on my sound down here, I could come in and adjust the length of the sound, and that will take care of that fade out also. So easy to do that kind of an adjustment. Fade out is pretty easy to handle, although there isn't a lot that you can do with the audio, but you can do some things like that. Now for transitions, all it really has is a crossfade. If you take one of these video tracks and overlap it like that, it will automatically give you a crossfade at that point. So let's just take a look at that. We'll see our crossfade right here. So easy to do, but it's not really a lot of options. Now, that's the most used one, but you may want to have something fancier possibly. So we do have that crossfade effect. There it is. And there are several different options up here. We have the main editing window, and over here you have your media that's inside of the project. Now, an odd way about working with the media, if you go up here to open file, is going to open the file up over here on the right hand side on your recent list. I'm going to demonstrate that. I'll do open file, and we'll grab another underwater something here. There's one right there. Choose open. It comes into the play window so you can watch it. This one has some audio to it. I'll just choose pause. I have to then click this button here, which then adds it in. So it's kind of a two-step process. All of the other editors, you would simply open the file and it would add right over here. You didn't have to do this previous step. So it's a two-step process where other ones do one step. Not a big deal, but it's just something to notice about that. Then bringing it onto your timeline, just the same as everything else, just drag and drop and put it on there. Pretty easy to do. So not a big deal on that. Now we have a few options up here. We have editing, effects, and on these you simply add in your effects. I have some effect in here on the audio. This is where I got that fade out. And we have color and audio. And all of these use this same filter window right over here. Notice that's the FX. Here's the color. There's that filter window. Here's the audio. There's that filter window. All these things seem to do is change some of your reference tools on the right-hand side. But as far as putting in different effects, that's all done over here. Notice as I click on each one of these different ones, I can see the particular clip I'm working with. This is the scuba diving clip. There's my transition. Here is that fish clip right here. If you want to add things onto that, add filters, come down here, click on the plus button, and this thing gives you your list of filters. We have favorite filters in here. All of the video filters are right here, including stabilize, transform, alpha adjustments. If we scroll down, there's a lot of stuff in here. Same thing with audio right here, bass and treble adjustments, compressor, and we have some time in here, simply a time remap allowing you to speed up or slow down the video clip. So there are quite a few of these. It's not really easy to see what it is just by this list, so you may have to experiment a little bit, but there's quite a bit in here that you can choose from. Let's look at the help file. Go up here to help and topics right there, and here we go. We have how-to articles. Let's look at the user manual, and it's not so much a manual as it is kind of just a bulletin board or chat service. It's a little odd. Look on mask apply in here, and you get some information like that, but it's more along the lines of a community resource as opposed to being an actual help file. So these things really aren't in any particular order. There's no real rhyme or reason to that. If I come down here a little ways, like this just comes down here, let's try one of these things here. A lot of these are like this, where they're asking for somebody to come in and improve the documentation. And the reason for that is that Shotcut is open source and it's community supported. So it may be a long time before they actually have a regular how-to manual in here. It may just be a lot of these questions that are asked and people are coming in and giving in their insights. So help is a little hit and miss depending upon what it is that you're looking for. So it may take a little bit of trial and error. They do have some tutorials up here, and these just look like YouTube videos that they picked up someplace. Some of these are good, some of these I looked at are pretty bad. Not the best set of tutorials, but again, it is open source, it is free, and you frequently will find limitations. In this case, the limitation appears to be with the help online. But it's a nice video editor. I don't really have a whole lot to say against it, except that it seems to be relatively basic at this point, and it looks like it's still being worked on a little bit. It's not as finished or polished as it could be. And let's take a look at export, and the button for that is right here. Pops up down below, left-hand side. Basic settings in here you can choose from, and there are quite a few. Here's intermediate settings. This is your 1080p. Let me find the 30 frame per second right there. That's pretty good. Legacy, there's some lossless settings in here, which is nice. You can even export as still images. I think more of the video programs really should have the still image export function. That would be very useful, especially if you're trying to do thumbnails for a YouTube video. Having that option is a nice one to have in there. Here's a YouTube setting. We'll hit export. There it is, and save to see how fast that goes. And there's our timer. This is going pretty fast. It's not a slow export by any means. So there you go. That's a look at 5 top free video editors. My favorite is the VideoProc Vlogger because it has the most features and it really is a full-featured professional level editor. Okay, don't forget to check out my channel, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.